I'd like to say hello to everyone out there and to tell you a story. The story is about us, my wife, myself, moving to Australia, or moving to this area in Australia. Now, we stayed in the south of Australia for 4 years. Then my wife got transferred up here to Mildura, which is in the northwestmost point of Victoria. Now, we looked around about for a house to buy, but we're renting at the time. That wasn't very good, so you're better buying. Now, we looked around, couldn't really see anything that we liked. Stuff that was out there that didn't appeal to us. So, like quite a lot of Australians, buy a piece of ground and you build your own. So that's what we did. We looked around for pieces of land that we could buy. Now, we wanted a piece of land that was big enough to spread, to do something with. There's no point in having land and it sits there. You need to do something with it. So our plans were formed. The only thing is, a piece of land. As I said, we looked around and looked around, and eventually found this piece of land we've got here, right? Now, if you look across this way, that's one of the fields. We call them paddocks here, but it's a field. And probably a lot of Australians now will say, it's a paddock. We're in Australia, it's a paddock. So that's a paddock, right? Now there's another paddock down that way. Single tree, basically on its last leg, but I've tried to help it, feeding it and that, and trying to bring it along, but it's just pretty well done. Anyway, when we seen this land we come up, and it was in such a bad state. There was rubbish strewn from that side right the way down to that side. Now you had old cars, rubbish, concrete, bottles, broken balls, glass everywhere. Also, you had milk cartons. So the milk cartons you get to the store, 2 litres. Thousands of them. Unbelievable. You say, well, where did they come from? They were empty. It was like a amount you would find on a back of a big lorry. But obviously they were empty, they had been used. So cat's kind of annoying me down here and the dog's there. They're wondering what I'm doing. So anyway, I'll continue. Milk cartons, just sitting on the road now. Now, we couldn't believe that people could dump that much rubbish. But then we found out more that this land, people had been doing that for decades. Not just 1 or 2 years, decades. Anyway, I seen the vision. I knew what we could do, a lot of hard work. And we could do it. So down we went, down to Mildura, Rural City Council, and we asked them if we could build sheds on the property. At the time we had a section 32. Now every Australian out there who's bought a property will have had a section 32 given to them, either on viewing the property and obviously after the purchase of the property, whether it's a house, land or whatever. It tells you what you're getting. It's a good idea. So what we were getting was a piece of land, 15 acres, with a boundary fence, without the boundary fence, but the boundaries there. There was no fences, nothing, just junk, other people's junk, and you were getting that free. More's the pity on that side. Anyway, after getting told by Mildura Council that we could build sheds on the property, as many as we wanted, long as we stayed away from the next boundary and a certain amount of metres away from the road. Now the road is up that way. If I'll tilt you around a bit without getting the sun on you. I think I'm getting the sun now. Yeah, try that. No, I'm getting the sun there. Up that way. Right down to where that shed is there. Now that's an American barn. It's 10.5 metres by 10.5 metres. So we purchased two of these. That one there. And if we walk you across, I'll show you the next one. That flat pack, you see that? That's still flat pack. That's the way they come. You come off the lorry like that, flat packed, and you assemble them like that, like a Meccano set. You got to put a slab down and a concrete slab. That's all in the drawings, the detailed drawings. Now, we are at the time, Mildura Council, we asked if we needed a permit, a building warrant, anything like that, because in Scotland you would need like a building warrant. So you would purchase a building warrant and you would build a rural shed in Scotland. That's the way it was when we'd done that before in Scotland. So we needed obviously help and guidance here. We were told, because we were out with the irrigation, so there's no irrigation out here, the other water comes from the rainwater tanks and the dam, and we didn't need a building warrant. We didn't need anything, long as we went in within the parameters, as I said, from the road and the boundaries, which it was well within. So we built it. Cleared the land, built that, piled up the vegetation that was there here and there. Most of it was junk, and as I said, old cars, bottles. This fixation with plastic bottles, milk cartons, jeez. Somebody drank a lot of milk and dumped the empties down there. Anyway, cleared the land into piles, and after about 2 years, so this was 2015 we purchased the land. After about 2 years, we got Mildura Council come up to the land, up to the gates, and asked if we were staying here. Now normally in Australia, when you're plan to build your house, you build a shed because you want to store stuff in it. And that was our plan again. Now we have got a friend, Stan, who stays about 5 minutes from here. He stayed in his shed for 24 years. 24 years. He stayed in the shed. It's got all the amenities you want, but it's there. That's what he's staying. And he's happy there. And this is Australia. You really don't need much. Look at the sun's out most of the time. And it's got a good life. But, that's down here again, and a dog, again. Anyway, come up, who's staying there? Yeah, we didn't think anything of it. Stan was staying in his shed for 24 years, we didn't think any more of it. And then they stated that the shed was illegal. I asked them what he meant by that. Why could it be illegal? We've already been down to Mildura City Council. They said we didn't need any building warrant or any documentation for it. We showed them what was written on the section 32, because the section 32 we took in to get the right block of land and to give the correct details to the lady behind the counter, the office. She went away, had a look, and this is the information she gave us. So we wrote that down. That was written down as she said it. Now later on in this video, I'll show you a copy of that. It's not big, so it's easy. You're bored reading it. We'll show you a copy of that. And that'll explain this part of the video and what we were told by them. Now, myself and my wife and our friends can't understand if we were told this incorrect information from this woman that Mildura Rural City Council. Why and how does it become our problem? They made a mistake. Said the woman was there for 2 months. 2 months, 2 years, 20 years. It was a mistake. We were told that it wasn't our fault, it was their fault. But they shifted the blame straight onto us. Your shed is illegal. And by the way, you shouldn't be staying there. Told them about Stan. 24 years in his shed. So they came in, had a look about, took some photographs. Very next day, they were back here with a letter stating that we had to get it rectified or taken down. So obviously they understood everything. They were blaming us. Right, so that was the shed. Now the land. They went away and got a botanist for the land because the person who complained that we were staying here and also clearing the land. Who's this person? We asked them. We said, who's complaining about us? Now, if I swing you across this way, I think in the sun. Now, over there, there's a house, and there's a rail track that runs up right up there. It's actually quite good because that way you still kind of realise that there's actually people still going about. So the rail track goes down there and it run up once or twice a week. Now, anyway, the neighbour's there. Now that's the only neighbour, and the other one is way down there, way past our land. So you're talking about easy 20 acres away. So way down there, and it's 20 acres and basically in this a linear. So that's it, way down there. So there's only 2 neighbours. So we'll go back to them and says to them, right, who complained? We can't tell you. Why can't you tell them they're complaining about us? Why are they complaining? We're not doing anything wrong. Oh, we didn't know that we were doing anything wrong. We didn't know that we needed plan permission for a permit, a building warrant for the shed. Anyway, so they got a botanist. The botanist comes up, took samples of some of the weeds that was on there. They're native. You need a permit to clear them. All right, right. So how do you know you need a permit? Where does it tell you in the section 32 that you need a permit? In the section 32 that we have, it states this is farming land. Always has been farming land. Doesn't say you need a permit. There's no restrictions on the land, farming land. Now, the people in Australia who are watching this, especially the farmers, will know this. Farming land means farming land. Now, if you've got some rare tree or bush or shrub or whatever on your land and they know about it, then maybe that would cause a problem. Well, you can't really do that because that's protected. There was no protection. There was nothing. Also, we cleared this land and it took a lot of money and a long time to clear it, to get the glass picked up, to get 30 tonne of concrete was dumped down there. And I'll show you the scrap pile later on, and I'll give you an idea of what we've done. Or done. It's a Scotch come back in again. Well, it's just me. Anyway, that's what I'll do. This is what's happened. I'll give you documentation what's went on. So now the shed is legal. We paid $3,000 for a certificate. Well, that's a lie. We had to pay a surveyor $3,000 to come in, have a look at that shed, and say it was okay. So it was $3,000 paid out to the surveyor to get a certificate. We haven't received a certificate. We were told when that was passed, they will give us a certificate. Give us a certificate. That is, it's in writing, it's on a piece of paper, probably folded inside an envelope, stating, now your shed is legal. Anyway, go to the land, back to the land again. Anyway, the botanists come up, had a look around. They're probably jumping about all over the place here, like, but it's just the way the brain kind of works. And things pop into your head and you just got to say them. Yeah, I've probably got the sun right in the screen, haven't I? And the cat's at my feet yet again. I'll turn around and we'll go back up again. So we get away from the cat. Right, the botanists come up, stated that it was native vegetation, we should have had a permit, and we didn't have that. So stop what you're doing. Stop. We will have a meeting at the Mildura Rural City offices and give you the outcome of it as soon as possible. That went on and on and on. Probably like this video. Anyway, nothing happened. Nobody contacted us. Nobody came. No letter fell on us from above. Burn piles of rubbish, old bodies of wood, pallets, stuff like that, some vegetation were strewn all over the place, quite close to here. It's just the way we're built up. Now in Australia, this again, most Australians will know, there's a season for burning. You can't burn, there's no way you could burn in the summertime. You probably set the whole place alight, not just the burn pile, everything in it. I mean everything. So it's a big no-no, so stop burning, you don't burn. So you get anyway, when it is burning season, you have got to get a burn permit to allow you to burn. So we got that, got a burn permit. So that was in place. Still nothing back from Mildura Rural City Council. I keep saying the name, as it rolls off the tongue. Anyway, time was going by. The burn season was coming to a close. It wasn't long ago before we couldn't burn, and these piles were still there. So we went away and we sought advice from one of the fire brigade members in Mildura, one of the head guys. He comes out, has a look around, and he says, look, it's really unsafe to have these piles so close to that, to the shed and everything else. And also different areas out with our property. My advice is burn it. Because if you don't, and something happens, either it spontaneously catches fire, and it goes up, it's going to create horrific problems for you and for everybody else in the area. These embers float in the air, shoot through and set light to the next bit because it's tinder dry in the summer seasons. That's why there's seasons, burn permits, and it's governed. So we burnt it all. We burnt everything down there. Now just, if the sun's there, I'll swing you this way. That's what the land looks like now. And most farmers will be turning and saying, Jesus Christ, like, what did you buy that for? It's got limestone. Yep. But what likes limestone? What kind of crop? Well, the crop that likes limestone is olives. And what better place to grow olives is in Australia. Just like Spain. Fantastic place to grow olives. And you can dry grow olives in that ground because you've got a sand loam, then there's a limestone mix, then it goes down into clay, so the clay holds the water. Olive trees tap right down into the water, so they're dry growing them. But the problem with that is the yield's not very good. But on the other hand, The oil's perfect. It's the best oil in the world. Now Australia imports an immense amount of olive oil from around the world. They do grow it here, but not in great quantities what they need. So, after the burn pile was there, we were told from Mildura Council, at the time, I forgot to mention this, they said to us, don't plant anything until we get back to you. I missed that bit out. So we weren't allowed to plant, we weren't allowed to burn, we weren't allowed to do anything. We did say, put 2 smoke detectors inside the shed, so you're staying there. But once, obviously, you get a certificate, you can't stay there. That's okay, agree to that, it's no problem. What about the land? We'll get back to you. So now, what we've got here is a situation. The land was stopped again from selling it. We've been abused, racially abused, blamed. And it's quite hard. Then you realise that life's too short. And here we were trying to make our life in Australia and thought we were going to achieve it. Our own bit of land, clearing it. Nobody else wanted the land, too much work. We did it. We put the fences up. Lots of money. Barbed wire and fencing, a lot of money. Clearing the land, a lot of money. Time, a lot. So here we are now, at this point in time. It's the 14th of the 5th, 2019. Mildura Council, once again, are wanting back onto our land to take more photographs. They've put a stop on us selling the property because of the land. They're wanting us to plant 5.5 hectares of natural scrub. Then they lift that. That's blackmail. It's blackmail in any language, any country, anywhere. Now Australians, I need you especially to get in touch. Tell me if you've had problems like this, or is it just us? So now we've got an order on the ground, we can't sell that, we can't get out of here, we've got to go back to Scotland. We've had enough. It's like, you know when you're not wanted in an area. Especially if one person has made this all happen. One person complained, one person made our life a misery, and one person has basically ruined our life in Australia. It's a fantastic country. We went away to Queensland. It's immense. It's really hard to comprehend, especially when you come from an island like the UK. Where everything's really quite close by. It doesn't mean anything here. You drive for days and days, and still you're not out of that state. That's how big it is. The best way here is to go to the airport and fly, and even then it takes a long time. Australian people, fantastic. Small minority, but I suppose you get that all around the world. There's a minority there, lurking in the bushes, waiting on something happening, to dob you in on something that you think you're doing correct, that they don't like. Our neighbours, the ones we talked to up at the back here, that's got the land, and they can't believe that we've went through all this. Especially after all this time, this land basically lay vacant, and someone was wanting to do something with it, clean it up, build and make a home, and actually produce a product in Australia for Australians. I can't understand that. I can't understand a council going along with the crap and participating in that. And that's what we've got. So what I'll do is I'll stop this bit here. I'll give you the documentation that we have. I'll show you that. I'll not make it too long, because reading sheets and sheets of paper on YouTube, like, it's boring. And what you want to do is what we'll do is we'll try to keep it short and try to explain. Like, so we'll give you the dates, and this is when what happened on that date. That'd be the best way. Now, I don't know how long this video is, so I might have to come in 2 parts. And I don't know if most of the world will understand what I'm saying. But I've tried my best. I do like my Scottish accent. So, I'll sign off. And I'll see you later. Goodbye.